As women awakening on planet Earth right now, it is our duty and it is our birthright at the same time to awaken to the power of our womb, to the voice of our womb. And I trust that if you are a woman who found this video, it is because you have either gone through, you are going through, or you will go through a womb awakening in this lifetime. And I really feel called to share this message to those women that are just so eager to understand how to really take the next step in their awakening journey, because this is, and our womb, I should say, she is the most powerful connection that we will ever have in this life. She is, I have chills as I say that, your womb, I'm speaking to all women who are watching this video right now, our wombs are the most beautiful gift that we have been given in this life, because it is the bridge between heaven and earth. It is the bridge between this life and many other lives that we have lived as priestesses, as medicine women, as shamans who have walked the earth, who have walked the feminine path and are here to do it again. I have full body chills as I say that. And yeah, I trust that if you found this video, it's because you are ready to hear this message. It is for you. So trust, take what resonates and leave the rest. But yeah, I'm really excited if you are here watching this, because I do believe that women have the greatest gift of the womb, and we are the keepers of the feminine frequency. And now the feminine is rising within the collective across the globe in all genders, all people across the planet. However, women, we hold this frequency. It is our home. It is who we are at our core, is the feminine. And we have the gift of the womb to remember that power, remember the gifts that we have to share with the world. And it's just the greatest gift that we have. And so I really urge you to anchor in these words that I share, really feel into this. And this is a transmission that isn't typically something that you're meant to just like listen with your ears and logically interpret with your mind. I want you to feel this in your body, the words that I'm speaking to you, because the womb is a feeling center. It is connected to our intuition as well as our primal instincts. And so your body, your physical, primal, feminine body is meant to hear these words, not your mind. So yeah, but I really want to go into this. So why is it really so powerful? I also am going to share a little bit about my own womb awakening journey. Again, I do believe that there are layers to this, so it's not that you might go through one awakening and boom, your womb is awakened forever. Women, I trust that if you're on this path, if you are a spiritual woman seeking the path of the womb and awakening her power, it is an ever-evolving journey, and you are a medicine woman here to lead the shamanic path. It is not one for the week, and it is not one that is short and sweet. It's a long journey, but it is a beautiful one, and I believe it is the most beautiful journey that anyone could ever live or walk. And you are a leader of this planet. You know, I do believe that all men and women across the globe, everyone on this planet who is awakening right now, is needed in their own unique way. But women are the ones that hold this frequency. That is, we have to rise first. You have to rise first as a woman. So if you've already experienced on this journey, maybe this resonates, maybe you have gone through challenges in your life, you're starting to wake up and spiritually understand why you're here in small amounts, but every day, every week, every year, you're like, it just keeps getting ramped up. It's because you're on an accelerated mission, my love. You are on an accelerated path that is not gonna stop. So buckle up, because it's beautiful and powerful, but it's gonna take a lot from you. You are a warrior, and to be on this path, to awaken to your womb, it means that you have, as I mentioned earlier, you have already walked this path prior. You have felt what it feels like and what it means to be a woman who is on this earth living, breathing the divine feminine frequency. I have chills. And in order to awaken this, it means that you must dive into the depths of the shadows within your psyche, within your being, those icky, painful, uncomfortable parts that are not easy and that a lot of people will not want to look at, a lot of women will turn a blind eye to, and a lot of women will shut off because it is uncomfortable, because it is scary to the mind. But when you anchor this in, when you lead with your intuition, with your body, and with your womb, your life, I have chills, your life will be miraculous. Your life will be one that is continuously gifting you miracles, continuously showing you the next step. And I can say this from experience. When I awakened to my womb, everything in my life started to make sense, and everything continues to make more sense because I am not led by the logical mind, by the human mind. I'm led by my primal bodily instincts and my intuition, as I do believe they go hand in hand. And it all ties to the womb, right? And our womb is, I believe as women, it's our first brain. You know, I think a lot of people wouldn't agree with that, but I do believe that. I believe women are meant to be led by our bellies. We're not meant to be led by logic. And we live in this world right now that has been I don't know if that's a word, patriarchally conditioned and created. But as a womb keeper, as you, a woman who is on this journey awakening to your feminine, it means that you're meant to do things very differently. I have chills again. You are not meant to walk the path that 99% of the people on this earth are walking, which is going to cause you to question a lot of your reality. Your mind is going to want to create assumptions and create reasons why you shouldn't walk this path. I'll get in my experience with that. But the more you continuously come back to the center of your being, your womb, you will always be guided in the right direction, because I also believe that your soul is the connection to your womb is the connection to your soul. And so when you lead by the womb, you are led by the soul. You are not led by this logical human reptilian brain that has been conditioned, right? So we want to lead from the womb. And I want to share this experience that I had when I started awakening my womb, because I feel like for those women that listen to this that might be a little more rational, or maybe you've led with logic, or maybe you do have a very potent connection to your intuition and your soul, but your mind always wants to get in the way, let me be the first to tell you that this is me to a T. Like, if you could look up in a dictionary, like the girl that led by logic, or if the word logic, like there'd be a photo of me in that word, next to that word, because I am somebody who, my soul really understands why I've come here, but my human body has had to traverse a lot of fear, a lot of mental programming, as we all do. And so oftentimes when I experience the supernatural, when I experience my womb speaking to me, and in this case, when I went through my own awakening with this, my mind tried to create all these reasons why it wasn't actually happening. And oftentimes we as women will do that. We will try to justify why something isn't actually as magical as it is with our mind, because we're like, well, that couldn't have actually happened. And it's not actually you. That's not your soul. That is your mind trying to rationalize, trying to block away the magic, because you can't understand it with logic. You know, we can't understand soul level experiences and this magical womb power with the mind. It just doesn't make sense. It's two completely different operating systems. So that's just what I want to say too, is if you're on this journey, before I share my experience, if you're on this journey and you notice your mind start to question things or get really confused or feel like you're not doing things right, first of all, you can't go wrong with this. Your soul will lead you through this, but also always come back to trusting, always remembering that there is a soul so deep within your being that is guiding this evolution on earth, and you are a leader here. And no matter what your mind says, your womb is the one that is in charge. She is the one that will bring you towards those experiences, those gifts, those remembrances of those times that you've lived on this planet and you've walked and breathed this path as a medicine worker. Okay, so that's just one thing I wanted to say. And then, as I said, my experience. So this is a funny story. I feel like will help you to really just resonate with me if you are one of those women I just mentioned. You know, I went through my womb awakening. This was the most crazy experience of my life, where for 2 months of my life, I was essentially living and breathing in my feminine. I was waking up out of bed. My womb was showing me past lives to heal. I was shaking it through my body. I was sitting at my altar every day. I was working with my crystals, and it felt as though spirit was coursing through my veins every day, and I was just led by the force of my womb. My womb was speaking to me. When I say speaking to me, I mean my hands on my womb every morning. I could feel the words that she was saying to me. I could feel what she wanted to show me and what she wanted to eat, where she wanted to go. It was as though this intelligence in my belly was guiding my way forward, because she is her own consciousness. She is a force that is so much greater than anything that we've ever understood by the mind. Now, this experience happened where every day for 2 months, I was viscerally moving energy through my body. Now, stick with me on this, because this is really important and it will probably blow your mind hearing this. I was viscerally moving energy through my body where there were times I had to throw up. I was spitting into a bowl, and it felt as though I had the most painful knife in me, stabbing me in my stomach. And it was so viscerally painful, but I knew deep in my bones, and this is the difference, I knew in this time that I was moving energy. I knew that there was not some sort of infection that I had, and mind you, I was living in Bali, right, where there's parasites and things like this, but I knew within the core of my being that this was my womb moving lifetimes of energy out of my system. Yes, out the other end and up through my letting it out in my mouth. And I knew this whole time that it was energy. It wasn't that I had to, like, I wasn't really questioning it this time, because this force was so great that I just trusted my womb is clearing lifetimes at this moment. And you know, that happened, right? And I come back to the States after this experience, out of that portal energy, I like to call it. And my mind started to try to rationalize how that didn't actually happen, and how I had an infection, a parasite, or I had candida. I even actually had a guy friend that deeply triggered me at this time. And he told me, he said, Katie, sounds like you have candida. And that, let me tell you, that triggered my feminine so hard, because I knew he was wrong. I knew that. I was like, no, my womb is healing. And so that said, with the rational mind, as I had to justify it, I started going to a naturopath where I got every test under the sun. I got a GI map, which is like, it tells every single parasite, everything in your body about like what sort of infections you have, all this kind of stuff, leaky gut, anything like that. And some other tests too, to test like hormones. When I tell you, not a single thing came back. I had some gut issues at the time, as I always have, but not a single parasite, not a single infection, nothing like that. I was blown away, because my mind was like, surely there's something wrong with me in my body. I went to another doctor as well, got all these tests, all this lab work, blood work, you name it. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. And my mind was like, oh my God, you're trying to figure this out rationally. You're trying to understand how this supernatural experience happened to you. But the whole time, as I tuned back into that experience, I knew my womb was clearing and healing. And so it justified everything that I've gone through, and helped me really come back to, as a woman, remembering there is a force so much greater within me that is wanting to help me heal and help me evolve. And I say that because this goes for every woman. I have chills because this is not something that is unique to me or that I went through. I believe that every woman has the power to awaken their wombs. And I have chills again because it can actually happen much faster than you think. In fact, oh my God, my body is chilling up. This is potent here. This can happen much faster than you think, because for me it happened very quickly, just simply through every single day. And this is where I'm going to show you some things how you can awaken your own womb and really build that connection. It's going to be quicker than you think by literally every day for 5 minutes in the morning. Putting your hands on your physical stomach, your womb, and starting to talk to her. You can say, I always wake up and I say, hi womb, I love you so much. How are you doing? Feel free to speak to me today. I will live guided by you. I love you so much and I honor you. Something as simple as that. And getting quiet, this is the key. You want to get very quiet and still, because stillness is the only way. This goes for anything. Hearing your guides, hearing spirit, seeing the signs, you know, following your intuition. We have to get still and quiet. We can't be ramped up in the mind, as I was for my whole life up until this point. And it took a couple weeks of me just really getting quiet and tuning in. And every morning I started to notice this energy rising. I started to hear words. I started to feel impulses, because the more that you activate the power of your womb and you actually start to tune in, as I said, with that, just building that relationship, talking to her. And I say her because, again, she is a consciousness. She is a living, breathing being within you. You will start to be guided in ways that you never, ever, ever have experienced in your life. And your intuition starts to ramp up. Your instincts start to click on. You start to really notice. I started noticing in this time the people that had weird energy. I started detecting entities in people. I started knowing the foods that I was meant to eat from my womb. I started noticing just like the things that I had to do in my life. It was as if there was this instinct in me and this impulse guiding me and this force that was pushing me forward. I didn't even have to think about it. It was just this breathing, I was going to say transmission, but this force really was what it was, moving me towards the next step in my life every single day, every single moment. And so it was the most magical time for me, and I still live my days by that. And I will say, again, this is a journey, so it's not as though you just awaken your womb and boom, everything's great. You know, especially me, I will say this, I've lived in fear my whole life. I grew up with a lot of fight or flight living in my time. And it's taken a lot of time to not only awaken my womb, but awaken my psychic abilities and just feel safe with the quote unquote supernatural, because my physical body doesn't feel safe because I grew up in a world that didn't allow myself to feel safe in that awareness and that openness, so I shut it down. So if you're like that, it might take some time to really open up this gift, but everyone can do it. I have chills because every woman can do it. And again, you are a woman who is here to help the evolution of this planet, and we have to tune into our wombs because she holds the wisdom for this new world. She holds, oh, this is big, I meant to share this too. In this time, I started seeing the very projects, the very creations, the manifestations and desires that I wanted to and meant to create in this life. It was as though she showed me all the steps that, and not only that, but the vision for my future that I want with my babies, with the place I meant to live. I started seeing all of that. So she will expand you open to see what you're meant to see, to build this new world and life for yourself in your own direct circle and family. So you see all the beauty, but as well, you do see all the pain. So for me, this was a time where I was called to really dive into the depths of certain past lives I needed to heal. A lot of this life, you know, my inner child, because as you awaken your womb, you awaken the inner child, the inner little girl in you that suppressed a lot of this magic. So a lot of the time you will start to notice all the pain that you shove down, or all the pain that people put onto you, men, anyone really. You'll start to see all those times where you started giving your power away and you just start calling it back. You start cutting cords, you start going on this journey of really healing. And it is going to be different for everyone. Every woman's journey with this is different based on how much healing you are called to do, you want to do, as this is a choice as well. You have free will. But I do believe that she is the way. She is the leader. She is the only way, women, the only way that we're going to heal this planet. And it starts with you in your own womb. And by doing this, you will affect those around you, and you will affect the world and your future children. This is really big too, women. If you feel called to, if you already have children, or if you want to have children, when you heal your womb, just get ready for the babies that you are going to implant on this earth. Just get ready. I have chills because I've seen this myself, the babies that I'm meant to bring into this world, that I have chosen you, those souls that choose you, choose your womb to incarnate into and to birth into and grow from into this world. It's the one that you've healed. You are being called to heal and do the work that your future children will be blessed and thankful that you did, because they will birth themselves into this world. You will birth them into this world to live as these free sovereign beings because you did the work. So consider yourself a leader and a warrior of this path, because you have the gift to do this. You have the ability to do this. Every woman does. But that said, I do believe certain women will select this for their life, and not everyone is meant to walk this path. But if you made it this far, you definitely are. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around because I have so much more womb wisdom that I'm here to share, and it's my purpose to share as a woman who walks this path with you. You know, we're all doing this together. I don't believe that I'm further along than you or anything of the sort, but I do feel it's my call to reflect back to you the power that you hold as a womb keeper and as a priestess of the earth. So I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed. Please share this with a woman who you feel could really anchor in these words into their own womb, their own being, because I feel every woman needs to hear this. And I hope to see you so soon, and I'm sending my love.